then all their kids were drinking wine for dinner.
For wine,
and our
yeah,
kids
the
are
wine
like, what the fuck is going on? That truly is what the First Amendment is about. Like, oh my God, our allies, the Israelis, have spied on us. No fucking shit, motherfucker. We spied on them too. Yeah. By that time, I had formed and started a whole soccer club. It was awesome. How did I get off?
We were talking about tennis.
I didn't tell you this shit?
No.
Okay.
Tennis.
Tennis. And the First Amendment. This doesn't end well unless it ends. They never believe me. I would never drop the ball. I know can't just report the fucking obvious.
I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and
just
run it
a motherfucking jump. Just go. Well, I think it's episode number 28. You're here. We're glad you're here. This is the Outlaw Apostle Show. I am your host, Troy Neff, and in the other seat, the voice, right now you're just a mysterious voice.
I don't think people know what I look like.
No, they don't know. Mysterious voice.
Once we get 1,000 likes
of
or
Chase.
subscribers, we'll reveal.
1,000 subscribers. Okay, so we're going to reveal who Chase is next Christmas. I haven't looked. What are we up to now? We got 140?
130 something, I believe.
130 something?
If I remember correctly.
We probably add 3 a show.
Oh yeah, we consistently add people. We definitely do.
We are. That's good. That's good. I'm happy about that. At this point I don't care about the numbers. You know, just looking at the show from the beginning of what we've done and the things we've added and continue to improve. I like it.
Oh, I love it.
I really do. And totally excited about continuing this. And so spent a little time on the last episode talking about Pavel Durov, who is the CEO of Telegram, who was arrested in France, and what that means for the United States. Does it mean anything to have somebody arrested for basically, I don't know, free speech? He was arrested for not monitoring the content on Telegram because this app is being used by bad guys. It's being used by bad guys, basically. And they want him to do more. Basically, what they really, really want, and they're not saying, is they want a backdoor in. And that's the thing, is here's one guy who has actually resisted the government and said, fuck you all, like Elon Musk,
yeah.
And that this is about free speech. Yeah. I'm not giving in to you, because we've had Mark Zuckerberg come out again. This is not the first time he's actually apologized, but basically apologizing, saying he wouldn't, if he had to do it all over again, he wouldn't, and admitting that they suppress stories that they shouldn't have suppressed.
On
Facebook.
Yeah.
Due to pressure from the government.
Yeah.
Pressure from the government. That truly is what the First Amendment is about. The First Amendment isn't about free speech between Chase and I, or you and your friend, me and you. That's not what free speech is about. Free speech is really about being able to do and say whatever you want, besides fire in a theater, between us and the government. And we have had recently calls, even by the media asking the White House during a press briefing, asking the president's press secretary what the White House is going to do to suppress speech, basically, yeah, or delete shit that they don't want out there. Yeah. And That's not the idea of a free press anyways. The free press was supposed to be the ones digging and getting, and they were supposed to be on our side.
Yeah.
But the government has co-opted them and worked their claws in, and it's ugly. And I even said to Dawn this morning, I got to be careful at this point because I'm going, no, I'm not worried about that because I don't give a fuck. But I'm going down a road I've been before.
Okay.
That I'm heavily a political person.
Gotcha.
Heavily.
Gotcha.
Okay. And it can get for me to the point of really being consuming to me. And I read it and I share a little bit with y'all, but I haven't really shared. How do I want to phrase this? I'm okay phrasing it this way. Fear. I'm legitimately scared, not scared, ooh, that kind of scared, but a fear of the direction we're going and how ugly it is and things that I want to believe in my government. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really want to believe in my government
that you're not
because I really believe in my country.
Yeah.
And I've said before, what I think the best position for most of us to be in is to love your country, hate your government.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's where I usually am. And I got to make sure I keep framing it that way and putting things in that box. Because you can get drugged down to. I listened to an episode, and I have to share it with you, and I don't want to get too deep into it because I didn't write down who the guy's name was. But this guy, like, super, super knowledgeable.
Okay.
Like, more knowledgeable than Tucker. So I was watching Tucker Carlson, and he was interviewing this guy, and I think he's interviewed him several times. And this guy only cares about one thing. He doesn't really care about policy and that kind of stuff. He just cares about free speech, and I believe he's a journalist, but I don't know what his name was, but it was recently, this was a recent episode.
What was he talking about?
This week. What we're talking about,
okay.
The First Amendment and Pavel Durov and Telegram, and like, I'm just honest. I was always more into this than the average person.
Yeah.
So sometimes I always felt if I don't know, then average really doesn't know.
Yeah.
They really don't know what's going on. And then you get to thinking about all the distractions and things to keep us away from this what's actually going on. So what I didn't realize was that Telegram, well, originally Durov, I think back into 2013, 2014, could have been 2010. I'm not exactly sure about the year, but he was in Russia up until that point.
Okay.
And then Russia tried to get a hold of him, and he was like, fuck this. And he was out, right? But now so a place he left, they're accusing him of conspiring with Russia and Putin now, because that's what they think is because
it's
the
easy
military
sort of put on him,
because they put the crackdown in Russia on Telegram.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, they changed their mind. And the Russian military and government, they use Telegram. It is there because this thing is so secure.
Yeah.
Like secure. If somebody really wants to be secure, well, no wonder bad guys are using it, because it's the most secure thing that there is.
Yeah.
So they're using it, but we use it also. So I kind of break it down like this so that you and I can understand this kind of stuff. I think of it like this, and this is how we have to frame this. We have nuclear weapons, and we're the good guys, right? We're the good guys. And there are bad guys, bad actors that have nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
So both sides have a good bit. Same with Telegram. Good guys have a bad. We can't shut down speech because we want to control the bad guys or not let the bad guys have this tool.
Yeah.
And because we absolutely know that we can't trust the government, and it doesn't matter what party you're a part of, you should at least come to grips with this, that the FBI used FISA warrants to illegally spy and listen into Americans because they're very limited to what they can listen to and what they can't. And then when you find out 98 to 99% of the warrants were approved by the judges, that doesn't seem right. And then they were abused.
Yeah.
And then they always, well, we need this tool. We need this tool. Well, then they use the tool in a way that should never be allowed.
Yeah.
And we have to realize if you are okay with them using the tool on your enemy or the guy you hate, Trump, don't be mad when Trump uses that same fucking shit on your ass and your political party. Don't be mad. Because that's what'll happen.
Yeah. I mean,
then we're down a whole shithole road. We're down a bad road.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we cannot, we don't trust them. Why do Americans need guns? I don't know. That's why we don't.
To defend ourselves.
But we're crazy because we don't trust them. Really? Because
stupid now.
How has it worked out for any other group of people anywhere in the world when the guns were eliminated?
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere. Venezuela. Pick a country. It's not good. Okay? So the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment, and those are our two most important, and we're going down. And so I've had to separate my stuff from, when I did that on the radio and back in the day, and, I could get worked up, man, like seriously in my head. And I had to step back. And so because being a recovering alcoholic, one of the things I focus on is things I can control and things I can't control. Yeah. And the only thing I can control is me, my reaction to things. That's it. But even though that's the case, that doesn't really, I feel like I'm not being a responsible adult American by just saying, well, I can't do anything, so who cares? Somebody has to care. Somebody has to care.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, if you're going to want to live in the country, you should probably care a little bit.
Or your kids, or your grandkids.
Exactly. Yeah.
For them. So it's finding that balance for me, because watching that today was like, wow. And it got a much deeper into the different nuances with the countries and what we've done with Telegram and how we use it too.
Yeah.
We use this stuff to organize. So let's say shit's a little shaky in Iran, a little bit, right? And it always usually is, at least a little bit, sometimes more than others. Yeah. But occasionally, every so many years, there seems to be more of an uprising where a new group of young people take to the streets and stuff. Okay. We don't think about it from day to day. We're going about our lives. We're taking our kids to soccer practice. But we're there. The CIA is there. The United States is there. Yeah. If we can, now we maybe not start it, but somebody who else starts it, we'll sure the fuck help them help them organize it or give, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
we're pretty good at that. We tend to do that quite a bit.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Like, oh my God, our allies, the Israelis, have spied on us. No fucking shit, motherfucker. We spied on them too. Yeah.
It goes both ways.
Yes, it goes both ways.
Yeah, we can still be
both
friends.
Allies and enemies.
Yeah.
We do. So it was a little unnerving this morning watching that podcast.
Like being broken down and whatnot.
Because he was really, really good. And I'll make sure I get the name of it and share it with you guys. I wrote it down. I apologize for not having it and not being that prepared for it. And it's just on my mind.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bringing it up so early in doing this. And since we had just talked about it, it's just on my
I'm curious on the podcast. I kind of want to give it a listen now, too.
All right, hopefully you can see it. Whoop, whoop. New shirts. We got the blue shirt for the men we got the blue ones. This is just for men. The women's, we don't have a blue. We have women coming in gray V-necks. We just have some of them. He's redoing the sleeves because he thought it was too. Anyways, we're redoing the gray ones for the women, but the blue ones for the men. It's got the fight on it, baby. It's got the fist. And of course, the flag, because you don't like the flag, you're not my people. And then the Outlaw Fitness logo, so you too can be a part of the Outlaw Fitness
Phones
family.
in the way.
What's that? Phones in the way. That's all right. Leave that in there.
Yeah, that's okay.
So the Outlaw Fitness logo on the sleeve as well. Great response from this shirt. This is basically, it doesn't say Trump on here anyways, but we know what this means, man. Oh, yeah. Fight, fight, fight. $30. Message us, get your shirts. And we still have some of the red ones left, which are the MAGA shirts, the Only Felons, super popular. And when they're gone, they're going to be gone. That's it. That's what we're doing. I'm the fucking guy. What people are saying. And well, here's why. Because this story came up and it's sports, and I love sports,
We
right?
love sports around here.
We love sports. So this is tennis.
Tennis, okay.
Tennis.
Okay.
I can't believe I didn't. Well, I can believe I didn't know this. I used to always know who the top players in the world were,
in
men
tennis?
and women in tennis.
Really?
I always knew.
I didn't know you were that big into tennis.
Oh, I loved. I liked.
I guess
tennis.
you
I used to. Yeah, I played tennis
Yeah,
when I was in
yeah.
high school. Me and my friend spent like a couple summers in junior high sweating it out, like just battling all day.
Did you ever compete?
Well, we just against each other.
Okay. Were you or was he?
We didn't have a tennis team at our high school.
Really?
And we wanted to start one.
But you had an
and they
official
wouldn't
beer
do
for a
that.
wrestling team.
But we had an official beer for a wrestling team, but we did not have a tennis team.
Oh, that's
And
so
we
funny
should
to
have been
me.
able to start a team or compete or do something,
Yeah.
even with just two people. They should have, but they didn't do that. I don't think Genoa High. I don't think they have a tennis team now.
Really?
Dude, you got to realize when going back. So my daughter was born in 1994.
Okay.
Okay. So figure 2004, she's 10 years old. By that time, I had formed and started a whole soccer club. Not just a team, a club.
Club?
A club. Multiple age brackets, boys and girls, mostly boys. I had 2 girls teams, anywhere from U9 to high school.
And you coached them all?
I coached several of them.
Okay.
And then I had other coaches or people that joined
Gotcha,
us that
gotcha,
brought their
gotcha,
teams
gotcha.
and stuff like that too.
I was like,
And-
that's pretty impressive. Like running.
oh,
that
there
many-
were
that many
like I
people?
would on a winter when we would move to indoor and play indoor
Oh, I love
soccer.
indoor. I love indoor
When we
soccer.
would do that,
Yeah.
I would coach 3 or 4 different teams in a day and go from one game to another and be. And I had the whole thing, dude.
Like
I had
everything,
the
whistle,
the jacket, the hat, my glasses matched. We were the Toledo Celtics East. By the time we had transformed from, I never told you this.
No.
Okay, so the first team I had that was just a rec team,
Okay.
right?
Just like a
just a
put
rec team,
together.
and it was not serious, and it was a mix of boys and girls.
Okay.
Okay, and I had the best player, who happened to be a girl.
Okay.
She's better than all the boys, and at that age, that can happen.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
like
yeah.
7, 8
Oh,
years
yeah.
old, right?
I know a few
Yeah,
people
she
that were
was
like
she was a
ridiculous
true tomboy. Where my daughter was total athlete, but she was a girl.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
this other girl, super nice girl, but she was pure
Full.
tomboy,
Gotcha,
right? And
gotcha.
just a great athlete. And she went on to be a great high school athlete
Yeah.
too, like basketball,
play-
like everything.
playing?
She was a stud for a chick. She's a stud chick. And now we're talking little kids, and you can still tell who's going to be studs with the little kids. Look,
Oh yeah.
so
When,
excited.
when they get like
It's so much fun. So my first team, because of the way kids play soccer,
yeah.
I called them. We were called the Ball Hogs.
The ball hogs, yeah. I mean, that makes complete
Right,
sense.
and so we
that
had
makes
this,
complete
and I had
sense.
shirts made for the kids, and we had little piggy faces on soccer balls. There's
I
a little
love that.
pig on
I
a
love that.
soccer ball.
You know, that reminds me. I actually used to ref for kids soccer back
Did you
when
really?
I was
That's a
playing
great
like
deal.
club soccer.
That's cool.
And they helped me pay off my like things by like reffing games on
Yeah.
Saturdays. And that's like the best nickname for kids.
Isn't it?
All
No,
they
it's
do
cool.
is just hog the ball.
Yeah,
That is
the little
hilarious.
beehive ball
Oh my
and
God.
stuff.
That is so
Just
funny
so
because that
funny,
fits
yeah.
so perfect.
You've been listening to the Outlaw Apostle Show. I am your host, Troy Neff, and glad to have you here. Please do us a favor. If you enjoy the content of the show, pass it along, share it with someone else, send them a link. You know, it's through you that we can grow. We're also looking for you to drop some comments about some specific topics, and then we'll try to get Chase to keep me on topic about other things, whether it's related to TRT, men's hormones, alcoholism, addiction, any of the topics that you've heard me talk about that maybe you want me to focus on a little bit more. Drop it in the comments. But if you're going to do that, all right, you got to hit that share button for me too, and subscribe, and I'll be sure to live. We'll highlight your question and we'll answer for you, right? All right, I'm the fucking guy. So we ended up winning the league tournament. There was a big match at the end, and there's another team that we really became strong rivals, and they hated that we beat them. And because we won the league, the organization that we belong to in the state of Ohio, one team, you know, from each group,
Oh, so
whatever,
they put you
got
all
to
up
go
to-
to a state tournament.
Oh, okay.
So we got to go to
Okay.
state. We're going to
Hell
state.
yeah,
You know, we're little
long
8-year-old
times.
kids. And then we got fucked at state.
Usually how it goes.
Well,
down.
no, here's what happened. Like, I didn't know until we got there. They put us in the boys division
Oh, like
because
boys
there was
only.
no co-ed division, and we had both boys and girls. So we got beat, you know? And so I come back, and I'm telling these people that are part of the committee. You know, you always have a committee of parents, right?
Yeah.
And these are all shitty-ass parents who've never played sports
They have no
before.
idea what's going on. They're just
Because,
like my kid.
because
my
that's
kid.
why you shouldn't worry about the score. Like those kind of parents. They've never fucking played.
Participation.
Right? Yeah. Exactly that kind of thing. And so I come back and I'm like, hey, y'all might want to change how you do this league shit. And I know the whole co-ed thing seems really cute and shit, but that's not how they do it down there.
Yeah.
So how about you split up the boys and the girls? And they did.
Yeah.
So at that point, and then I asked, like a lot of parents we didn't have, at that point, our high school did not have a varsity soccer team. It was not a varsity sport. And it's a varsity
What?
sport everywhere else around us.
That one's
Crazy.
tennis. I feel like you can get away with
And
that.
this
But
is
soccer. That's
Yeah,
kinda
and I'm
crazy.
talking about in 2004,
That
dude.
is crazy.
It's not a varsity sport. And then I was the first one to take these kids and then like, y'all want to keep playing? We took our shirts and started playing indoors.
Hell yeah.
And then we played spring. And then we're like, so then we were going to, so there's this form that parents get sent out to them or kids take home from school or whatever that says, hey, you know, you want to sign your kid up for soccer.
Yeah. Like.
And I
permission,
started
whatever
talking
it
to
was.
them about a travel team. Hey, how about we form a travel team? And they weren't really for it, but they humored me.
Yeah.
And so they put a little one line in the middle of this form that said, check this box if you're interested in select soccer. Dude, what the fuck is select soccer?
I was about to ask you. I don't know what select soccer
It's
is.
supposed to be like travel. You know, that's what they meant.
Oh, that's
and they
okay.
did. That's what they meant, and but they put the words. Nobody knew what
No
the
one
fuck
knows
that
what
meant.
select
Nobody's
soccer
gonna
is, yeah.
check that off. So I just got fed up with it, and so I'm like, bye.
Yeah.
I'm taking my kids because I'm a recruiter.
Yeah.
You know, I would go like to playgrounds and recruit kids and stuff. Yeah. So then what I did is, another really good friend of mine, Lester Meyer, lived in my neighborhood, and he had a fabrication. He owned a fabrication company,
Okay, nice.
you know?
So is that where you got your shirts and whatnot?
No, fabrication, like metal shit. Building shit, like machining.
Yeah.
Like it was a machine shop.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, it was a machine and tool shop.
Okay.
And so we right next to us was a place that because this is tiny town.
Yeah.
Tiny town. We didn't even have a mayor. We weren't even
small,
incorporated. Curtis was a part of the Genoa School District, but it was this little town of 500 to 800 people that, and we all lived outside of town there so that we didn't have to pay city tax.
Hell yeah.
Gotta
do it
so
right.
all the people that, were successful, we all moved to that neighborhood and built that neighborhood up. Well, anyways, there was a place right next to the subdivision that they had lawn equipment and tractors and shit.
Okay.
And they had a little, what used to be Curtis baseball fields there.
Okay.
They're and I went to them and we worked it out to create soccer fields there. And we had 3 different sizes based on the age group and stuff. And 2 of them crossed, and then we had the big one. But we had our own fields. Nobody else could practice there. We had the liability forms. We got insurance so that it was Ackerman. It was called Ackerman. We called it Ackerman Field, and the family that owned the company, the lawnmower business or whatever, was called Ackerman. Just came to me. So, yeah, super nice. And Lester built the goals. So we had these big ass heavy goals, there.
That must have been
everything.
sweet.
We
Having
had our
your own custom
thing.
field and everything.
Yeah. And we didn't have to share it with anybody or we just had our own thing. And I would have them cut the grass for the field part down to the table, dude. Because we're running.
Hell yeah.
We're running. We used to play the Sylvania team, which is the uppity people. Yeah. Okay. That would be like Queen Creek here. or other places like that. Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they hated coming to our side of town because we were like what we called suburban East Siders. And the East Side was kind of considered the, not so great side of Toledo. Yeah. And there were other parts of Toledo and on the West and were bad too. But the East Side, still to this day, has the same
reputation for it.
Yeah. And they would have to come and play us. We had nice uniforms except for the shirts. They were T-shirts, so we could have multiple ones. And I funded everything. I paid for pretty much everything. Parents paid almost nothing. Like now, parents should have been paying $1,000 for what we were doing. A kid, that's how much that shit cost.
It cost,
and they weren't even paying $100, dude, because I took care of it.
That's crazy.
That's
a lot.
I subsidized.
That is a lot.
Yeah. Well, I loved it.
Yeah.
You could tell. I'm just totally into it. I could tell.
Yeah, I could definitely tell. That's crazy. So, just random question then.
Yeah.
So, growing up, were you like a big fan of soccer?
No. Didn't give 2 shits about soccer.
It was just something.
Didn't really. The only thing I knew about soccer when I was a little kid was Pele. That's it. One name.
Yeah.
And I think when they first tried like major league type soccer in America. Like I think he played for New York or something like that. That's the only thing I know. He did come and play at the end of his career.
Yeah.
But it just never took off and just was it wasn't our thing. And it wasn't on our side of town. It wasn't an option. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't an option. But my daughter wanted to try, and she tried in another town because you got to realize my daughter went to school 30 minutes away from us.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my daughter went to a private school.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was through that private school that one of her little kid friends and the dad, hey, Sammy, want to come play soccer with us?
And from that came all the rest?
Yeah, because then I wasn't the coach, and I ended up helping the one coach, female coach, and I ended up helping and kind of taking. Yeah. I took over. I'm just going to be honest. I took over. And then I was like, so Sam could do whatever she wanted. She did t-ball. She did gymnastics. Whatever she wanted to try, she could try.
Okay.
But she stuck with the soccer.
She really enjoyed soccer.
Yeah. I should have pushed golf a little bit more. No, really, I should have.
Yeah.
She could have been a good golfer. And she plays golf
Does she golf
today.
to this day?
Yeah. But I was hoping it was going to happen naturally, but no, soccer became our thing. It was her thing. And then it was different. When I was a kid, and it's hard for kids to do now. Some kids do it, but it's not as prominent as when I was a kid, is that we used to just go from sport to sport to sport.
Yeah. No. Nowadays, it's like you choose a sport and stick with it.
Well, if you're good,
Yeah.
If you don't do that, is your kid going to be behind?
Yeah.
If your kid does that,
A lot of the time, that's what people assume.
yeah. And my daughter did play like junior high basketball because she just wanted to, like, Sam, you want to? Go ahead.
Yeah,
It's just fun.
Yeah.
It was just a fun thing to do. She did. But she still, that didn't take away from a single thing she did soccer-wise. And literally, probably so she started when she was 5, but by the time she's 7, 8, she's literally playing year-round.
Yeah.
And by year-round, I mean she's playing on a fall team.
Yeah.
Maybe more than one team.
Oh, yeah.
Then she's playing winter ball and playing on multiple teams I have there, inside. Then we have spring. And then we were lying about her age to get her into soccer camps.
Hell yeah.
At that time, she went to Notre Dame soccer camp, and 2 of the Notre Dame players were on the Olympic team. We even drove to North Carolina. My daughter went to North Carolina soccer camp because North Carolina was the number one women's soccer team in the country.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So
I think even to this day, it's pretty.
And the top U.S. players, where did they play in college? North Carolina.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of stuff. So it was, and private coaches. It was insane what we did. Yeah. But she loved it, and I coached her, and she played on a boys team up until we
couldn't anymore.
Well, up till the everything else kept going with other people, but things were going on with me that weren't good.
Gotcha.
And then she needed to be where she needed to be, and we found her a team in Cleveland. So Cleveland was her home team, and we lived in Toledo. So you're talking about an 1.5 to 2 hour difference there. Drive every week, multiple times. Yeah, that's what we did. But I wouldn't trade any of that for anything. Yeah. It was some of the best times. She did end up getting to play for her high school team, which wasn't really as important. It was what club you played for was 100%. More important than high school. But her high school team, when she was a senior,
good reputation, though.
They came in second at state.
In state?
At state.
That's actually pretty impressive.
And they're and they were, I believe that was the highest division.
Yeah.
Like the most,
like Division 1.
Yeah, because of number of kids.
Yeah.
And stuff. That's how you would do that. Yeah. And yeah, it was what it was. She burned out, and that was it. She didn't go on to play college soccer, but it was a great experience.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I
mean, just being able to like travel around and see all the different fields and like the different atmosphere that different schools have and stuff like that, or different clubs. Because I remember when I was playing club soccer, one of my favorite things to do was just travel to a new location and like play a new team and in a new area and stuff like that. So
we would do that. It was awesome. So how did I get off?
We were talking about tennis. Something about you keeping up with tennis people. They used to keep up with the top 4 of tennis. And then you said something about soccer, and it interested me because I'm a big soccer fan over here.
I was supposed to make a point with the soccer, wasn't I?
No, you were talking about tennis.
I know. I was gonna talk about that.
You were saying something that you used to keep up with the top 4 tennis players around the world.
Well, not the top 4, but I used whoever the top tennis players were.
And then you said something about soccer.
We didn't have soccer. We didn't have a high school.
Yeah,
we didn't have a high school tennis team. We didn't have a high school varsity. So, anyways, I'll finish that. So, what ended up happening is there was a group of kids a little bit older, like junior high age, that another dude had as a group of kids that were good kids.
Good, decent team.
And they came and joined our club. And so they started playing
regularly.
Playing real competitive soccer and doing fall, indoor, spring, playing just year round.
Rotating different,
And so then right about the time they were in junior high was the time that the high school started not varsity soccer per se, but it became a club sport at high school. It had to be I don't know who made that rule, if it was a school rule, if it was a Ohio rule, but they had to have it as a club sport for 3 years
before they can compete.
Before they could be a varsity.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. And so the problem was then, so these kids, the first year it's varsity.
But before it even gets there.
The first year they're going to be varsity. They're incoming freshmen.
Yeah.
But the coach felt like his seniors were the ones that started the program, so he played them for the first few games, and they lost. And then he put in the freshmen, and they went. They never did win state because he just wasn't a good coach. But they did go deep, into the playoffs every year and
compete for top spot.
Yeah. Because this was the first kids. But again, that's what these kids did. That's all they did. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was their primary thing. And it scared the living shit out of, there were people not happy with my club team because it's at 6, 7, 8 years old, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's if it's not the best sport for kids, I don't know what is. Because Soccer.
Oh, yeah.
Because my daughter was bored to death with T-ball. Bored.
Yeah.
Right?
Not a lot of movement.
Not a lot of movement. You're not doing any kid can kick a ball. Any kid can kick a ball. It just is so
half the time they're not even kicking the ball. They're just running around chasing each other.
Yeah, but I was like Hoosiers, man.
Yeah.
You ever see the movie Hoosiers?
Making sure they're playing well.
Oh, dude, I drilled. I learned. So I started reading books. I started watching videos.
I guess that was my question that I had because you said you had zero knowledge about soccer. And
I learned.
You
and then we hooked up with the Toledo Celtics.
Okay.
And they had coaches who were high school coaches, people who played, were top end. And then there was one dude, his name was Bobo. Bobo played for some African country.
Okay.
Like he was on the side. You could find him on the FIFA soccer game.
Okay.
You could find Bobo.
FIFA, by the way. Just
FIFA?
FIFA.
What did I say, FIFA?
FIFA, yeah.
Yeah, FIFA. So FIFA, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. I don't pay as much attention anymore,
that was my next
do.
question is, did you even keep up with any soccer after
that? Yeah, I do. I've been... Dude, you don't know. I can't believe it. So... When my daughter ended up playing ODP, Olympic Development Program.
Okay.
So she qualified for the team, and they went to play in Europe.
Oh, wow.
So she played in Europe twice.
That is
2 years in a row.
Amazing thing to be able to say. That's dope.
As Team USA, right? It's pretty
such
insane.
A nice thing to say. Huh? Does she still have the jersey, do you think?
Huh?
Do you think she still has the jersey?
I have the jersey.
You have the jersey?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's dope.
I have the
Anyways,
jersey.
Continue, sorry, before I distract you so much.
No, it's okay. So she played ODP, and we went to Italy and Germany.
Oh.
And then we stopped in Austria on the way, but we didn't play in Austria.
Yeah, it was just like a in-between.
Right. And just an incredible experience.
Yeah.
And then we extended the vacation. We made it a vacation that we were with the team, for so many days and on this bus tour and going around. And I was on a bus on the Autobahn in Germany. And we went to a German professional game too. I don't have a lot of great things to say about Germany. I'll probably never go back. And unless you're a beer drinker, you don't really have any reason to. Yeah. And it's just, it's the weather's crappy. The people are miserable. There's nothing. Italy is amazing. Amazing. Austria, incredible. I loved Austria. But Germany, I've had all the schnitzel in a handful of days that I ever want to eat the rest of my motherfucking life. Yeah. And it's been some years since I've been there. I'm still not interested in schnitzel.
Yeah.
Okay? So that if that tells you anything. But the kids could speak English. The parents couldn't speak English. One of the dads, I don't know how we got talking about Harley Davidson. But Harley Davidsons are rare over there.
Was that when you were riding bikes back then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I started in 2004, 2005.
Okay.
And he gave me his Harley Davidson hat.
Oh, I thought you were just about to say he gave you a Harley Davidson.
No, he gave me a hat, but it was a big deal. He couldn't just go replace the hat.
Yeah, because it's not really common around there. Yeah.
No. There wasn't a Harley store on the corner and stuff. And their girls, asked our girls prior to dinner, because after the game they made dinner and everything for us, where the parents of teams are all together. If our girls wanted to go out and smoke before dinner.
Hell yeah. It's only German things.
No, that was Italy.
That was in Italy.
This is in Italy.
That's in Italy?
Yeah. And then all their kids were drinking wine for dinner.
For wine,
and our kids are like, what the fuck is going on? No, not you. Don't drink. Where the parents are like,
we're just visiting.
Well, it's milk to them.
Yeah.
They don't think they're not drinking to get drunk.
Yeah. It's like something you eat your food with or drink your food with.
Yeah. It's what you drink with your food with. It was just like that. Yeah. It was just a different
that's
experience.
That's actually kind of crazy to think of. Like when you're sitting around the table with all your kids and like half the side of the table is just all drinking wine.
That's what it was. But it was a great experience. So afterwards, we come back. After Germany and stuff, we come back and we go back to Rome where we first started.
Okay.
And because I want to do the Colosseum, I want to go to the Vatican, and we do all that stuff. So the last night that we're there is, how like they have their playoffs for their top soccer in the country, like the big Spanish team. What's the big one?
Real Madrid, Barcelona.
Yeah. And then I don't think I have the jacket and stuff anymore, but I had Roma. They were playing Roma. And whoever, not the country, but whoever was the big English team.
Probably at that time, Manchester United.
Manchester United. That's who it was. There, it was Manchester United and Roma. And this is playoffs. This is right. And this is the first game that they've ever had, or the first game that they've had where they're letting fans in a month. I didn't tell you this shit?
No.
Okay,
this entire time, I didn't think you cared the shit about soccer.
So do you know why? You know why they hadn't allowed fans into a game
I feel like I remember,
anywhere in the country for a month? Because they killed some cops, dude. The fans, I'm sure cops got killed.
Oh, yeah, because they went through the barricades and they were rushing the field. Yeah.
They're nuts, dude. They're absolutely fucking nuts over there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So you got to understand at that point, I've been going to Steelers games for some years, and anything I've ever wanted to get into in my life, I've pretty much gotten into.
Yeah.
The only one time I went to a Pittsburgh game and a dude didn't have enough money and I wasn't paying for him. So we drove all the way to Pittsburgh. We tailgated, and then we ended up in a bar about 45 minutes outside of town watching the game because we couldn't get a ticket in because he didn't have enough money. And I was pissed.
That's probably something you bring up before you drive to fucking Pittsburgh.
No, you got tickets there. That was the best way to do it. Get scalp tickets there.
Yeah. Oh, and he just didn't have it. He
didn't have enough money. Because you don't know, the tickets could be $125. They might be $325.
So he was just betting that they weren't going to be as
and
much.
this was against the Patriots.
Oh, back then that would have been.
And the only saving grace was we lost the game. So
I didn't even pissed if you spent all that money.
Oh, dude, driving I was pissed every time I went to Pittsburgh and they lost. It's a 3.5 hour drive home. Mad.
Oh, mad. Yeah,
I hated it.
I didn't even think about that.
And you got to understand. And you got to understand, but I was more invested than I am today.
Yeah.
I'll yell at the TV a little bit.
But you were like a diehard fan.
But I was diehard young guy. Like that.
That's how most people, when you're far about soccer.
Before evil steroids.
Oh man, it wasn't
that was real. That was non-roid real rage.
Yeah, that's Troy rage right there.
That was Troy rage. That was alcohol rage. Is what the fuck that was a lot of the time.
But you got into the stadium. How was the atmosphere compared?
So now think about this. So I've always been able to get in. So last minute, I'm thinking, hey, why don't we go to this game? Mm-hmm. And my wife and daughter are like, okay. Because I'm an idiot and they play along to what dad wants to do. So we get into the cab. We tell him where we want to go. He doesn't want to take us. And I'm like,
it's going to be a mess.
I'm like, dude, I ain't getting out of the motherfucking cab. Get me as close as you can. He did. And then we walked, but he got me as close as we could. And you got to understand, we didn't have a map.
Yeah.
We leave the hotel, have no idea where we're at. And we have this map that basically gets you from the hotel to the Vatican that shows you this fake little map, kind of thing. And we're over here. That's not on this page because it's not really a real map.
It's just
showing you a few streets to show you how to get to the Vatican from there. Don't worry about that later.
Okay.
We're not going back right now.
Yeah. Got to make it to the game first.
And so I got euros, mostly euros, and I got dollars. And back then, the euro was up. So the euro was probably worth $1.30 or $1.40.
I was going to say $1.50 probably.
Yeah, $1.30,
give or take
$1.40.
$1.30, yeah.
In that range 30, at the time.
40, yeah.
And then I had some dollars. And I took everything I had to get 3 tickets, and the 3 tickets were not next to each other. So I looked, 2 of the tickets were next to each other, and 1 was separate from those.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Susan, you take Sam. You 2 stay together.
Yeah.
And this is when we had flip phones, too.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the little ones. So you take Sam. You get in there. I'm going to take this single ticket. And then once we get inside, we'll meet up inside.
We'll sit together.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out once we're inside.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, I was about to say that's probably like one of the biggest games to go to.
It's the biggest. It wasn't like the finals. It was maybe the semifinals.
But Roma versus Man United is a big
huge,
deal.
Dude. It was
big
so huge. And like you couldn't drink. They even had banned drinking in Rome.
Yeah.
That's because they're allowing them in for the first time.
Yeah, so they don't want no.
But everybody had these brown bottles that looked like. Do you remember the bottles that your parents used to buy you that had soap in it to blow bubbles?
Yeah.
You remember what they looked like?
Yeah. I know exactly
They
what you're
had
talking about.
those kind of bottles, but there was alcohol in them.
Yeah.
I know what kind of alcohol, but they were everywhere. You saw them on the ground. You saw them everywhere. So people are still drinking.
Them in. Oh, yeah.
Of course they're going to drink, right?
You're going to not let people drink. Come on.
That was the case.
Anyways.
So I get in, and it takes me a minute, but I realize that, so usually inside, like when we were just at Footprint Center, we walked completely around the inside of Footprint Center.
Yeah.
Usually you can do that in any stadium. Walk all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
There's no way.
I had somehow gotten a ticket
on the opposite side. No?
Worse. Yeah. For the hooligans. And that's what they call them.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're a soccer nut and an idiot, they call you a hooligan. I was in, and they actually have they actually have an area, a section for just the hooligans.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the hooligan section.
So you had a great time.
And so they actually had cement block walls that if you once you came into that gate into the hooligan section, that your hooligan ass
You're saying
couldn't go anywhere else in the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
I was staying. And it's packed. So what are the chances you think I really got to my real seat?
There's no way.
And then they sing the whole time for 2 hours.
Yeah.
They sing.
Oh man. Like, that's why compared to that atmosphere in an American football game, what's the difference in atmosphere? Especially being seated in the fans. That's crazy.
It made the dog pound.
Uh-huh.
Are you familiar with the dog pound, Cleveland Browns? There's an end zone in Cleveland. They call it the dog pound.
Okay. Oh, and that's like the big fan like area.
That's the hooligan section for the Cleveland Browns.
Gotcha.
No, they're pussies.
Yeah.
They're puppies compared to these guys.
Oh, yeah.
These are the most hardcore soccer people you've ever met in your entire motherfucking life.
That's why I love Europe football.
How about this?
The passion they have.
In front of the stands, they had hoses.
To
fire hoses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They didn't have them anywhere else, just in front of our section.
Oh, because they know. They got to cool them down.
And then there's probably about 8,000 people from England there. And they had them all in a certain section. Yep. And then they had plexiglass. But then they had plexiglass.
Oh, because they start throwing bottles and everything.
But to protect people from getting to them. Yeah. But they would throw the water bottles over top of the plexiglass at them. And then after the game, they made them wait inside the stadium for a couple,
to make sure everyone gets out of the way
before they were allowed to go back on their buses.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think that's like one of the biggest things that got me into soccer was seeing the passion
Dude, it took every penny that I had in my pockets to get those tickets. Probably in American dollars, it had to be over $1,500 for 3 tickets.
They're not cheap.
No.
They are
and it took everything. So now it's after the game. Roma won.
Hell yeah, they did.
And I'm wearing my Roma stuff. Thank God.
Thank God.
But now we got to find our way home, and we don't even know what direction
it's
to
dark
go.
Now too, huh?
Dark as fuck.
Yeah.
It's night, dark. We just start walking, and we get to. We find we stop at a pizza place.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks I'm Italian. I didn't know I was Italian at that time because I'm 50% Italian, but I didn't know it at that time.
Okay.
I thought I was French Canadian.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
But I know different now from DNA.
Yeah.
Right. But anyways, so everybody, because I looked Italian. People they're like, I don't speak the fucking language. I'm fucking, finally I just said I'm Italian American. Like, I don't speak the language, you know? So we get to this pizza place. Somehow we order pizza, and I can pay for it with my debit card. But I'm trying to talk to them to have them like overcharge me and give me some cash back.
Gotcha.
Doesn't work. And we can't get we don't know what to do. But at least we ate.
Yeah.
Now we start walking again. Lucky enough, at some point, and we're walking, and I'm just trying to go in the direction to get to some point on this stupid no map thing I have that's not really a map, to get anywhere close to the Vatican, so then we might know where the fuck we are. And we come across a couple of cops. The cops help us out. Somebody else comes along. They needed a cab, and the cops help us out, get a cab with this other person. And the only reason they help us is because I was wearing Roma gear.
Yeah.
Because at first they thought we might be English because we didn't speak Italian.
Yeah.
Right? But they helped us, and we did get back. But that was a total adventure, dude. But that's how I'm still like that. I don't think about things. I just do it.
I love that.
And figure it out as you go. You'll figure it out, and you'll come home, and and what a great story, right? It was a great time.
No, I love that. It's
in.
crazy to think that you are actually at a game where, again, Manchester United has been one of the biggest clubs in England forever. Roma is probably top 2 biggest clubs in Italy. So, like, the fact that you went
top 2,
the fact that you went to a game
Yes.
with 2 of the top teams in Europe is so crazy.
Pretty cool.
And the fact that you were sitting in
the hooligan
that
section.
part is even crazier. Because have you seen the videos of like?
Yes.
And you were in the middle of that.
There was a video of this that went.
Oh yeah,
that we're showing all because, like I said, they're
everyone's
throwing
jumping up
shit
and
in.
down.
It was a big deal because this is the first time they've had a game in a month where they were having games, but there was no fans in the stadium.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because
the whole
people died or whatever
it
was that happened. Then it was just
that's so crazy to think that you were in the middle of all that.
I did that. I didn't go the next year. My daughter went the next year, and they went to England and France. And where's the other place? Where's the place where they have the red light district?
Amsterdam.
They went to Amsterdam. And I just wasn't feeling France at the time. And I don't feel France now.
I've been told France is not a
I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
And that's when I was having, my alcohol was an issue, marital issues, it wasn't good. So they went their way. I paid for them to go. I stayed back, worked, other dumb shit, but it was not good at all. And so that's 2008, 2008, I think, because it was right before I got sober and stuff. But yeah, they went. So anyways, now at that time, they got to go to a cool game.
Yeah, which one?
Now they went to a country game in England.
Okay.
No, in France.
In France.
And it was England playing France.
Gotcha.
And it was Beckham's 100th game.
Ooh.
And for whatever reason, they separated the parents and the kids.
What?
Going in. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to ask Sam, but they did. Because Sam
We'll have to get her on an interview one of these days.
So Sam went in. The kids went into the game with whatever adult supervisors went in.
Yeah.
But the parents got stuck outside. They were holding them up. They weren't letting everybody into the stadium because they knew it was Beckham's 100th game.
Oh, okay.
And the French are being French assholes like the French are,
they like
right?
To be, yeah.
And so the English people started chanting, if it wasn't for us, you'd all be speaking German.
That's a crazy chant. I love England people.
Well, they did. And they got pepper sprayed. including my ex-wife. She got pepper sprayed. They all got pepper sprayed.
And this entire time, your daughter's inside the stadium?
I guess. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And there was a point in my life where I actually enjoyed this part of the story where my wife got pepper sprayed.
You laughed about it when the story was.
Oh yeah, fuck yes I did. Fuck yes I did.
Oh man.
But we're way beyond that
beyond
now.
that, yeah.
Way beyond that now. And she would laugh about it now as well, which is cool. That's
so
all
crazy.
a good thing.
That's
dude, we became like, we were the crazy soccer parents. Now in our area, the big crazy parents were, you had baseball, and baseball's ridiculous
baseball's
too.
Always been popular.
And the cost and buying a new fucking $300 bat every year because
clubs are
dude, you know what they do? You know what those motherfuckers do? The leagues will outlaw a bat.
Oh, so you have to buy another bat.
bat.
So stupid.
I'm totally against kids. When I grew up in the era of when it was the very first metal bats.
Yeah.
And the metal bats weren't bigger.
No.
And then they started making them bigger and lighter and all the other bullshit and stuff.
All the extra shit.
But I'm totally against it because that's not what the game is really played with. And I'm against it, especially at the high school. And so if you're not going to play with it at high school and college, injuries, dude, the ball comes off there and people have gotten seriously hurt.
Oh yeah.
And it's because of the equipment. And that's just stupid. That just makes no sense to me.
Makes slightly bad contact on the bat.
So actually, when I was about junior high age, I didn't play in high school because I didn't like the high school coach. Totally stupid of me being a dumbass and an arrogant little fuck.
Oh yeah, we all
because I was a good catcher. But in
really?
Catcher, yeah.
Okay.
Because I couldn't pitch and I wanted to be involved as much as possible.
Gotcha.
So I'm involved in every play and I got a big fucking mouth. And back then we used to be able to chatter at the batters. Was I don't know if you're allowed to do that now because you probably hurt their feelings. Right? You can't do that.
I'm pretty sure I've seen videos where umps will throw.
No, I would talk about your mom, you in a dress.
That's the whole point.
Dude,
that's what the catcher's meant to do.
I was brutal, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine?
I can imagine. I can imagine.
People wonder why I do what I do online. Can't you tell, man? I've been trained for this shit. Dude, my life, I've been trained for this shit. But in junior high, I switched to a wooden bat. I was like one of the only kids because I liked being a rebel. Fuck you guys. I'm gonna change to a wooden bat, and I did fine. I played fine.
It's a mentality thing. I mean, obviously material, blah 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 blah. But I mean, your swing and all that is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, at least for hits. You know what I mean? Yeah, for hits versus 100%. Home runs. Yeah, you might get an extra home run out of it because of the other equipment and bats. But that was. But so you have a little bit of it. But in our area, what's huge is hockey. The hockey parents were crazy because you just don't have as much facility-wise. And so there was only really one facility in Toledo. And if your kid was any good, you're driving to Detroit.
Yeah.
Or Cleveland. Or, you had and they drove all over and it was expensive and you got to teach your kids how to skate and get private So it's a big. So we were kind of more like hockey parents.
Okay.
Like crazy like that. And what we did, like I said, we did more than anybody else around us as far as we had a good travel. We had a decent travel. I hate to admit it. There was a decent travel club in Sylvania.
For hockey?
For hockey for sure, but for soccer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But those were the parents that we clashed with.
Together.
Yeah. And my daughter played for them a little bit, but they weren't elite.
Gotcha.
And that's why the elite was Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus was where the elite teams
on the
was.
outer end.
And so we went to Cleveland. That's the closest we went to. We even went to Michigan for a while too.
Okay.
We were an hour up into Michigan, the number one club for boys and girls up into Michigan for a minute too, for a season. But yeah, so but we 2.5. So think about this. I'm driving an Escalade or Suburban.
God damn, you're driving that to Cleveland?
2 hours, one way, on the turnpike. So you got turnpike tolls.
Twice. And you have to pay tolls?
And you have to pay tolls. It's a turnpike.
God.
Twice a week for practice. Then if we went there occasionally for training.
Or like a tournament.
And then Saturday and Sundays for regular season games. And then other places for.
How many miles is that?
I don't know, a shit ton, dude. I used to put 50, 60,000 miles on a vehicle a year back in those days. Easy.
Especially in a big car like that. Like, Jesus Christ.
But gas was cheap, dude.
I guess you are right. I'm thinking right now, like, oh, you got to pay like $3 a gas.
We were still this kind of crazy parents. Yeah. We were, and just what you do for your kids. I can
admire that. I can admire that. That's really dope.
But that was her thing. And so, like, I wanted her to have every opportunity to, if that was her thing, to give her whatever.
To give her the opportunity.
The opportunity to do it. And she did the work. She did the work. She put her nose on. And the other thing that was really smart of me, for you dads, is so she's got to do her homework all the way there. 100%. I'm picking her up from school and she's doing her homework. And then, practice, we're eating on the way home. And then bed and school. There's zero time for boys. Literally zero.
That's a big brain move.
It was.
I didn't even think about that.
Super smart.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
that's actually really smart because you're consistently busy.
Consistently. Yeah. Yeah. She didn't kiss a boy till like junior high, so it was good.
That's good. That's actually really good.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Yeah. That's like one of the things I didn't even think about, but. You're right, because you're like either in a car, you're playing, or you're at school. Like those.
Boys. In my parenting, I treated boys and girls totally differently.
Oh yeah.
So this is all started from tennis.
Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten to the tennis.
No, we're only an hour in.
And
it's all right.
It's all about First Amendment, and people get to hear about. But one of the things you can tell is I really love that time.
Oh, I can tell.
Miss that, and just if you get to do that with your kid, man, enjoy every 100%. Fucking moment of that. That is. I'd coach again, like my daughter's trying to get pregnant now, I'll fly back and forth from Tennessee to coach her, my grandkid, who knows? I would, there was a great time, and I learned so much. And then, like I said, if I got into something, I got into it.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't, because I didn't play, I wasn't a good player, but I became a good teacher.
Yeah.
And I learned from these guys, drills to do like over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And we did that. And we did that with the kids, like things that you don't see that you'll know, just as a quick example, is parents who know, and most of the time the parents know nothing about soccer.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that to move the ball around the field and control the field, one of the things you have to do is kick the ball backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the goalie. And even kick the ball to the goalie.
100%.
Right? You include the goalie.
100%.
I taught kids that starting at about 6, 7 years old. And parents would flip the fuck out. And I'd be like, just shut the fuck out. Yeah. They would. If you're not going forward, they're flipping the fuck out. Dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff we would teach, like right from the very beginning.
You play the way you face.
And the other thing right away is whatever, like when I would just basic warm-up drill was going around the fields and back and forth, foot to foot, but you had to touch it twice with your weakest foot. So if you right-handed, you're considered right-footed usually. So then you had to go with your left foot twice, pass it to your right.
Yeah.
Once with your right, twice with to build up the skill. It would be no different than basketball dribbling twice with your left, once with your right, twice with your left, once with your right,
even when lifting,
over and over and over and over.
Sometimes if you have one bicep that's a little weaker than the other, sometimes you do another rep. You know what I'm saying?
Not a bad idea. That's a good one. But things like that. That was so big and just it was fun.
No, I by the way you speak about it, you can tell.
And that's, the American women were at the height at that time too. And they There's still a little bit of that left, but you kind of got into the
died off a little
the wokeness.
Years, yeah.
What's that?
It died off because of the whole wokeness thing.
Yeah. They're killing it because we would watch the women if there were, talking about men's and women's sports and money and how much money is put towards different teams. If there was ever a team that deserved similar treatment or compensation, it was the women's national soccer team.
Oh yeah,
because they actually got eyeballs. People watched.
They were winning games.
Well, they were way more popular than the men.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We would sit and watch
for quite a while actually.
Mm-hmm. So I don't really have like a team or anything now. I was kind of interested last year when Messi came and seeing him, and I'd still like to see.
I would love to see him
see a game before he retires.
Oh,
yeah. I would like to.
That'd probably be like one of the biggest things for sure. Because or at least for me, growing up, Messi was like, because Messi, Ronaldo. Yeah. Messi was always for me like he like one of the commentators says he was a gift from God. the way he plays, he's a beautiful player to watch. Yeah. That's for sure.
So I
tennis,
tennis, and the First Amendment. I don't even know this player's name. Iga Swiatek is apparently, I didn't know this, and I'm a huge sports fan, but that just shows you how much that it's not on my radar.
Uh-huh.
Right? Look at ranked number 1 in the world. Huh. I had no idea, dude.
I don't keep up with tennis like that. I really wouldn't.
I know a little bit about Coco. She's was like
unless it's like one of the Serena sisters, I really don't know.
No, there she's right there. You got it pulled up.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Young girl, still pretty young. She's born in 2004, so 20 years old.
Oh,
but
yeah,
she's been playing like professionally for, I don't know, 3-4 years at least now. So, I mean, she started as a teenager. I don't know. Does it say what her rank is?
Number 2 in singles,
number 2 in the world,
and number 1 in doubles. Career.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's career high. Sorry.
Yeah, she may not be there, but she'll be number 1 eventually.
Oh yeah. I mean, but she's 20 years old, so
right?
She has plenty of time.
And what I'm saying is, I couldn't name another player besides her.
Gotcha.
That was it. Like, I didn't know who the number, and that never used to. I always knew who the number 1 women's or like the top few, and definitely for the men.
That's still crazy to me. So, do you have like a favorite tennis player, like that you like watched a lot? Or,
oh,
like,
McEnroe. I was a McEnroe guy.
McEnroe.
Yeah, I love Mac because he was an idiot and yelled on the court. Like there were some of the greatest matches in the world he had. There's like we all watched. So much fun.
He looks like a personality.
Oh, total character. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun. And yeah, he's still, I mean, he does commentating and stuff now.
Okay.
He's just great.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't know, but this is interesting. I thought that this story popped up on ESPN that she's calling for more tools to help combat online abuse. So that caught the headline caught my attention.
Okay.
So I'm kind of wondering, what kind of tools? What do you need?
Get off of social media, maybe?
I don't know. So apparently today, she called for the governing bodies of tennis because I guess Carolyn Garcia, another player, wrote about messages she's been receiving on social media after some of her recent losses. And people are assholes, dude. I mean, all you have to do is look at my social media. And I get hate. I get more hate now than I did a couple of years ago. But I'm putting myself out there more too. Yeah. And it's just, I think
can't
it's
expect
stupid.
People not to hate. That you're going to probably get in overall, people are always going to be hating more than they love you. Because the haters have the extra energy to say something to you, so they're always going to see the hate more often than you're going to see the love.
It baffles me the time that people spend on that sometimes. Like, really? Like, I put up I got shit today. Like, it's amazing how crappy Pittsburgh Steeler fans treat each other.
Oh, yeah.
In a Pittsburgh Facebook group. It's like we're supposed to be rooting for the same team. Yeah. And you have like two different sides. You have this group, and then you have this group that's assholes, you know? And I'm don't know if I'm in the asshole side, probably. But one of the top topics in the group, obviously, for the past few weeks was Brandon Ayuk and whether or not Pittsburgh was going to get him in today. No, it's done.
I'm a Niners fan, so that's a big one.
Okay, they signed him today, $120 million contract, and it's front loaded. So he gets a lot of money.
He deserves it.
In the front side. I think it's maybe 70-something guaranteed. And in the first year, he's getting 40-some. It's not as much as he wanted, like total-wise.
What he wanted, yeah.
That we're talking about. And it's 4 years, not 5. But still, it's front loaded. It's a good contract for him.
4 years, 120.
Yeah,
mil.
but that doesn't mean you're going to get 120 million.
Yeah.
The only money that you ever look at in those contracts is the guaranteed money. It's the only money that matters because these contracts are not like other sports. It's not like baseball where people get paid for 10 years after they retired, and it's not like basketball where those are pretty much all guaranteed too.
Oh, did you see that Curry signed like
I didn't see it.
That man signed like 100 or 60 mil for a year, I think it was. Ridiculous.
That's great, man.
I mean, good for him for sure.
For him, for sure. But when people are like, oh, you know, a player doesn't deserve that. Does the owner deserve it? Like you're gonna it ain't coming out of your pocket, bro. You know, that's what I'm telling people.
Honestly.
But anyways, it's been a big topic.
Yeah.
And I saw today, like when it first happened and was announced, not the contract, but what was announced was the fact that he didn't show up for practice today. He had been doing what they call holding in. You have holdouts for a contract where they don't show up to camp, they don't show up to the building, they're holdouts. Well, they can be fined for that. Yeah. Sometimes it can be forgiven, sometimes not. It depends on the players and the situation, blah, blah, blah. And there's rules for that. Yeah. But he was doing what they call a hold in, where he wanted a new contract, but he was still showing up.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what they call that now. He was doing it until today. He didn't show up. And I think that maybe pushed it a little bit. And they're saying the 49ers are tired of this shit. They're going to cut him loose. So I simply put a one-line post in the group that BA didn't show up to practice today.
That's all you said?
That's all I said. You should see the dumb comments on there, dude. Just absolutely dumb. Like I'm posting useless information, right? Well, I don't know if you could do it. Like it's not going to show you on my page. You'd have to go to the group. You'd have to look up the group, and I don't know if you can.
Oh, gotcha. Because that's to be accepted into the group or whatnot.
I don't know. It's called Locked On Steelers Group. You might be able to pull it up, but not be able to
see the comments
or comment. But then I don't know how far down my thing was. You know, if you can't even get into it. But I can pull it up and share some if you want me to, because I can go in my notifications.
I'm just curious to see what they said.
Oh, dude. Let's see. Oh. Let's see. Well, okay, so here's one dude. Shit, he ain't at Pittsburgh practice either.
Obviously. What the fuck?
And here's my exact comment. And this has been a big topic in the group.
Yeah. I mean, Ayuk's a massive
multiple
player.
times a day.
Yeah.
Everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
BA, not at 49er practice today. That's all you said? That's all I said. And remember, this was reported on one of ESPN's talk shows, and their 3 or 4 talk hosts of whatever show was up at the gym are all talking about it.
Gotcha.
So that's news, right?
Yeah.
It's news.
Yeah.
It's just news.
They're reporting it. Yeah.
I'm just sharing this. He didn't show up to practice today.
People threw a riot.
Yeah. And your point is, then they were trashing on him. We don't need an overrated diva.
Like you said
before, this guy. This is a funny dude. Did you know the longest wedding veil was 63 football fields long? We are just listing useless information, right? Dude, it was actually a topic.
About what were we talking about?
What I posted was an actual topic on a sports network.
Yeah.
But me posting the same thing in a Steeler Facebook group is useless information.
People were mad. They wanted a uke.
This is before they knew. This
was even before they knew.
I posted this before we knew that before he said it. It's right there. You got it pulled up right there, dude. Look, there's 47 things, 135 comments.
I didn't even read. That's hilarious.
Yep, that's my post. You put Yeah.
I for one don't want him.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Cleveland bound.
There's that one.
Yeah. It's not happening, not going to happen. And those are fine. They're not going to happen. That's fine. I'm just putting it up there. I'm tired of him. Doesn't concern us. Well, yeah, it does. It's been concerning Pittsburgh fans have been interested.
For the past few months.
There's a couple other players we kind of maybe should have been interested in that the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't go after. You know, like maybe we should have gotten, everybody had an opinion about Juju Smith-Schuster too. And good for him. He's back with the Chiefs.
That's
so
a
good
solid
for him.
team to go sit on.
And no, he didn't have a good year last year with the Patriots, but the year prior to that, he had a decent year with the Chiefs, back in 22. So could he have been our number 2, an answer? Or could he have been our number 3? Yeah, we need somebody. We got one guy. We need somebody. Let's see. I'm not either. Maybe the Steelers will give me a call. And that's cool.
That's funny.
And let's see. There's one guy we really went back and forth. Oh, this dude. This was funny. This dude's funny too. Is he at Steelers practice? No. Then this post sucks. And then my response simply was, the post is a statement of news, clown. That's all it was.
49ers
news. Yeah, because we wanted the player, dude.
Like that's the whole thing. That's the whole topic. Man.
But people couldn't scroll past. Like if you don't want to talk, if you don't want, this is a group, and if this is a topic you don't want to discuss,
move on.
But just move the fuck on. That's what it is. But I didn't block anybody.
Yeah.
But one dude ended up blocking me because he got personal, so I got personal back.
Yeah, you have to.
And I said I was going to post a picture of Miss Piggy and his girlfriend side by side. Because she had one of these.
Yeah.
Well, he said something about my girlfriend. I was like, what? My girlfriend's got muscles? So I'm going to do this to you. You're going to do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just be stupid. But I'm not asking for anybody to help me. I don't want Facebook to help me.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why I post something and I immediately get something that pops up that says you might want to delete this because you're going to be in trouble. But these other people can say anything they want. I don't understand it.
It might be because you just have more people see your stuff.
I don't know. But so getting back to ESPN and the number 1 tennis player in the world, Iga, and the other player, Caroline Garcia, offered examples of just a few of the derogatory messages. She pointed to unhealthy betting as one of the reasons players were targeted. So I didn't know this. The French Open partnered with a company that uses AI to filter players' social media accounts.
What?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and the group that runs the U.S. Open, Wimbledon's tour, They announced it last December. They were starting a service to monitor abusive and threatening content on X, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. It would be nice if we can do more, as Garcia did, to try to educate people. You can't educate these people. No. They're just going to be idiots, and it is what it is.
You can give them the facts right to their face, and they'll still go,
dude, we have to just let that shit be. Just let it be.
Yeah, honestly, you're not wrong.
And again, I'm not against blocking people. I'm not against it.
If you need to do it, do it.
Like, just go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't let people do stupid stuff on my TikTok. The platform itself, to me, you're allowed to do anything on your page you want to do.
100%.
But you're not allowed to do anything you want on my page. And if I don't want other people seeing your comment because you're an idiot, now sometimes I want them to see your comment because you're an idiot. And then other times I just don't want to deal with it. And I just want, so I might delete the comment, or I might just block somebody.
Yeah.
If they're going to keep commenting and I'd have to keep deleting, that's going to take time, then I'll just block you.
Just a waste of time, yeah.
It's just a waste of time. And a lot of times those are people that don't have profile pics. They don't have followers. These are troll accounts where people are just signing up because they're bored. It's not like they're getting paid for this.
Oh, no.
They just have miserable lives.
That's all they can do.
And that's it. But I also know that, who would you say, well, I have my opinions about him. Who is the most hated NBA player right now?
Ooh, trick question. LeBron,
right? The most hated player. And we won't say the greatest. We're not going to say he's the GOAT because I just won't concede that.
Yeah.
Jordan will always be the GOAT for me.
And that's fair.
But I will concede very easily that we could all agree, even if you think he's the greatest of all time, then it's easy for you to also agree he's the greatest of his generation.
Oh, that's easy.
Right?
That's easy.
Right.
Yeah.
The greatest of his generation. So the greatest of his generation is also what? The most hated, right?
Oh, yeah.
The most hated. Still today, I would still, who's the most hated NFL player?
Brady?
Yeah. Yes. Tom Brady is the most hated
I was going to say
NFL player.
To be honest with you.
I don't think he's the most hated. Most people they don't care
social,
enough about
media,
it. They don't even care enough about that to be the most hated. They don't. I mean, maybe certain feelings about what they like, what he did, but not
him himself.
Because again, like that's my point too, or my point earlier was, love your country, hate your government.
100%.
To me, the flag stands for the country, not the government.
Yeah.
And we were just watching, I think I might have watched it before, but I'm not positive. But Dawn and I watched it. There's a documentary on Netflix about George Foreman and his life.
Okay.
And it's a really good documentary. And George Foreman went to the Olympics and beat a Russian in the finals that he was not expected to win. Yep. It was a total upset. And this is the 68 Olympics in Mexico.
Was that Mexico?
Yeah. Mexico City, right? 68 Olympics.
Yeah.
And this was a huge deal at the time. And this is when there's a shit ton of racial strife in this country.
Oh, yeah.
And while he was in the ring, someone gave him a small American flag, and he walked around that. He got a ton fucking shit for doing that. Because that's at the same time, other Americans stood on the podium and did this. So, George, what are you doing? Why are you not with us? Why aren't you doing this? And you're waving the flag. Same thing. That's no different than the feelings about it. But I think, again, like I approach everything in this, put it in this framework of country, government.
Two different
things. Hate your government. We could every bit hate the government. But ultimately, when we fuck up and we've done bad things, it is because of the country that we are. It is because of the documents that were created by these racist motherfuckers from 200 some years ago. Okay, because that's what people are going to say. But that was just the time. That was just what it was.
Common, yeah.
And many of them didn't, at the founding of the country, didn't want there to be slavery.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually the document won out. The Constitution won out that we are all created equal. Eventually. So eventually, yeah, it does. But there have pretty much, somebody else had said this, there's never been a people that has walked this earth that hasn't been a slave at one point or another.
Oh, yeah.
Every type of people. And even today, y'all are fucking slaves to the Matrix.
Oh,
and
that's exactly what I was about to say. People
Come
are
on, man.
to this day.
You don't even...
Just because you get
paid
doesn't mean you're not a slave.
They got you fooled,
100%,
man.
100%.
You're just not their responsibility. You'd probably be better taken care of if you were on the plantation. Now they just give you a little bit and you got to go fucking do the shit yourself.
100%.
Dumbasses.
You're not even wrong. Funny enough, I was just thinking about that the other day too. Yesterday. That's so crazy. That basically, like, nowadays we honestly, it's the exact same thing. But just because in society we're getting paid for it, that it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Whatever. American dream, right?
American dream. I'm living it. So I just don't know what these players are expecting. I don't know what you can do.
I don't understand. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what kind of tools they're looking for, right? Are they looking for like someone to sit there and like go through?
So the messages, something. I guess it's gonna just block the hateful messages. So the messages are still gonna be there. I guess it's just
not going to be showing up for them.
Show up for them, I guess.
Oh, so they're going to. Okay. So
you know what? Here's the thing too.
Because you can do that on like Twitter.
But here's another thing you could do. You can also post shit and turn comments off.
Yeah.
Right.
You can do that. Even there's some social medias that you can go into your settings, and if there's certain words you don't want involved on your page, guess what? You can just type that in, press enter.
Why is that somebody else's responsibility to protect you?
People are lazy nowadays. We have this whole
just know I'm not lazy. I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
There's a difference.
I need help. I need your help with my technology.
Oh man!
But at least I try.
Yeah, 100%.
I try with technology. I'm not like other old people
that have no idea what they're doing.
No clue.
They can't even open the phone.
They piss me off, man.
Trust me, I help those people all day long.
The motherfuckers that just get a different fucking pay app, motherfucker. You're still only using PayPal. Download something else.
Honestly, PayPal sold.
Yeah, it's like somebody else. Like I didn't even answer him. Somebody, for a consulting, to pay me my consulting fee. Something wasn't working because I can't do Apple Pay now, which totally sucks. My Apple Pay got shut down. And so they wanted to send me a money order or a check. Motherfucker. Or they asked about a credit card. No. And I can't even say what I really want to say right now.
Well, we can cut it
out. I'll tell you after.
We'll cut it
out. I'll tell you off the air, though.
Oh, man.
But motherfucker, seriously? This shit ain't going away. Figure it the motherfuck out. Enjoying the rest of the world. It is what it is.
Just watch a YouTube video.
You gotta.
Just watch a YouTube video. Come on.
Something.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube video for
everything.
YouTube is number 2. Google's still number 1 for search, but YouTube is number 2.
100%, because you get a video form with it. You get actually someone to play it out what you're actually doing,
absolutely,
what they're looking for, and all that.
Of course. But and they could also choose to not be on the social media at all.
That is also a big one. Yeah.
That's a choice. You can make that choice.
I feel like people forget that that's an actual choice.
But I was kind of getting to the point too where I embrace it. Like I do butt heads with the people because I just do. It's just my thing. Yeah. And I don't mind doing it.
Just
people
want
me to, it's just my nature. It's just what I want to do. And sometimes I get some good content out of it and share it and fuck them and I don't care. But for me, anyways, I embrace it in that probably the most hated of all time. I mean, the people he came to save decided on to free Barabbas and to hang him on a cross. So if he can be hated, so can I. But like if the two go together, this is my whole point. And if I want to grow, if I want to be bigger, if I want this podcast, I'm going to get more shit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to come.
100%.
And that's part of the way that I monitor it.
The more hate,
the more hate. You're doing. I must be doing something good.
Yeah.
I'm going down the right road. And that's a good thing.
I agree. I 100% agree.
I want more to come.
You want all the smoke.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
No, but you're not wrong though. I mean, that's a great way to like measure success, right? Is how much hate are you actually getting? Because like they always say your biggest fan's always going to be a hater. So the more hater you have, the better you're.
And I'm not saying there's not good reasons. A lot of people don't like Bill Gates now. Bill Gates was not as hated, 15, 20 years ago as he is today because of other political things and things like that. But again, but I know I'm not a fan of things he's done with his foundation or some of the other views he's taken regarding vaccines or, just other issues. But what he did, even if it was an inferior product, what he did for productivity with Windows, even though, the original DOS software wasn't something he created, he still made it what it was. And that took us down a road that got us here. I think we're living in the greatest, most opportune time ever in the history of man since God created man. Since God created man, we have more opportunity, and we are such motherfucking pansies. Just because it's... What were they doing? I mean, when was polio? The 20s? When was polio a thing? Can you put that up? We need to even type that. When was polio a thing? Polio first case. It said there.
1789. The first known clinical description of polio by British doctor Michael Underwood was not until 1789.
So less than 200 years. Because 1840, and then you had, but not just polio, but we had every type of different types of diseases and ways to wipe people out. We
didn't have medicine the way we do nowadays and all that. Like to be able to like research and like the knowledge we have accessible to us in such quickness too. We don't have to wait and like learn like everything. The internet, like come on.
But it really literally wasn't that long ago that we were pulling like plows with
cows.
horses and oxen.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
No, it really wasn't.
When was the first Wright brothers flight? This is kind of
1903.
1903. So from 1903 to by the 60s, people were in the sky like they were on a bus. And then we did or did not go to the moon. Right?
Possible. Also not possible.
But you see, the shit wasn't all that long ago that life was, my whole point was, life was truly hard.
Oh, yeah.
Truly hard.
We had a lot to learn.
I mean, we have this whole thing about kids and rules regarding work, and we tell other countries, like we shame other countries for child labor. We were there not that motherfucking long ago.
We had
early 1900s.
We had a serious problem with it, actually. I remember because
dude, a problem with it. That's what you had to do. But that's what kids did.
That's what you did to survive. You had to produce for the household, and there was no.
You at least had to go. You might have been 4 or 5 years old, but you're carrying a little motherfucking bucket, and you're feeding the damn chickens.
You're doing something.
Feeding the chickens.
You're not sitting at home on your TV watching something. No, you're working.
You're working.
You're doing something.
Did. It was hard.
Oh yeah.
It was hard. We don't have hard.
Oh no.
We don't.
It's the words that are hard
This
nowadays.
is the greatest opportune time ever with what we have available.
I agree.
It's incredible. So I don't know what people should do about this. I just shared what I do. I may delete something.
Yeah.
I may delete a person. That's what you have a right to. It's your social media.
I still think that's a little.
But we are so overboard with this whole pussy culture of somebody else having to protect you. And I'm sick and tired of somebody trying to protect me. I don't need protected, or trying to, because I had that happen on my TikTok. I had to this is literally insane. TikTok has really gotten insane on me lately.
Just overall as an app, I don't know what they've been doing, but.
Appeal approved. We've reviewed your appeal and restored your comment. This keeps happening over and over and over. Let me see. Does it? So somebody said something dumb on my TikTok, right? And like where he said what I was talking about, the IGF-1, the peptide. Okay. And so he said that it must not be working.
Yeah.
So this is what I said. You have an issue, ? Or just being dumb, ? They took that comment off, and we're going to penalize me because of that comment. That's all I said, dude. You should see the shit people say to me. And all I said, or you just being dumb.
That's too much, Troy.
I got flagged. I got flagged for that, dude. And I still can't use my DMs on TikTok yet.
They just completely banned?
I don't know. I'm guessing it's a 30-day thing. Gotcha. And I got suspended on the 9th. So I'm hoping after September 9th I can use it again. Because if I can't use it at all, I need to start another account again.
We're going to be cycling through accounts. We're going to get you, I think in the future, I'm going to get you something set up so you can have a main hub for you.
So the one thing I have decided is in DMs, I'm not going to, if I'm getting to the point with somebody where I'm going to have communication with them in a DM and it's not going to be a good communication, I'm just going to, I'm not going to ignore them. I'm going to block them.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. The ones I block now, I try to block ones that are fake scam accounts, of people trying to sell fake steroids or to take advantage of people. And because I talk about that kind of thing, they, look at my account and then target my people and message them.
Yeah.
So as soon as I see that somebody is following me, I check and see who's following, and I check that account to see if they're putting up pictures of steroids and just that and trying to rip people off.
Yeah, okay. That's actually really smart.
Yeah. But I control that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's up to me to do that 100%. Or to hire somebody to do that. You know what I mean? At 100%. Some point. Because, that's what I want as we go along with this is, we're doing the YouTube thing, but I want you more involved with the social media like we talked about and going around and doing the other videos and content and things
we'll get real fun
put
with
on.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's the direction.
Hey, I'm right behind you. Hey,
that's where we're going.
I'm following the direction.
That's where we're going. That's what we're going to do. So this is absolutely not what this show was supposed to be today.
No, you know what? It really wasn't. But the soccer story, that was a great story, by the way.
For you.
Oh man, I enjoyed it.
For you. Nobody else cares about my kid playing soccer, but hopefully it conjured up some memories for people.
Oh man, I love
thinking about that kind of thing, because it was a great time for me.
The way you spoke about it, you could tell that you really enjoyed that time. Yeah,
I loved it. And we have, and I always have an entertaining story of me doing something.
I love it.
Because I've done some shit.
I hate to sidetrack you, but I love hearing the stories.
I've done some shit, and Europe was some shit, and that was a good time. You know, I'm cool to hang out with, because something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. It just
follows you around.
It follows me around. All right, that's it, people. That's enough. We're done with that shit, but I appreciate it. We'll get to real topics, real issues next week. This is the Outlaw Apostle Show. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah. Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life.